All right.
We're live.
Hello, everybody. My name is FighBat, and today I'm going to be doing FZero AX, all tracks. Just going to get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is FZero AX. Most people have seen an FZero GX run. This is a technique you will never see in it. This is T-drift. Technique is done by breaking your grip and strafing in a direction, and it just makes you accelerate really high. In fact, it accelerates all the way up to the speed cap if you have a straight enough track.
Yeah, so so this is FZero AX. This is the arcade cabinet, basically. It's got physics pretty similar to GX, and it's got the same look, like same 3D engine, and it handles in some ways pretty similarly, and it's got some similar mechanics, but some of the driving mechanics are pretty different. So generally it's kind of more slippery, but it's also got some interesting stuff like this. So this is functioning kind of similar to what snaking does in GX, except you can do more stuff with it. It was like in GX when you're snaking, you need to be like turning. In this, you don't actually need to be turning. You just need to strafe, and like once you get it set up. So Fi is basically just strafing and driving in a straight line and getting up to very high speed, very fast.
Oh my gosh, that was almost a PB, but like,
oh wow,
like it was second off, but it was really close.
yeah, that was pretty solid. So generally, one of the strats that's going to be going on here is he's going to be trying to pick up as much speed as possible using T-drift where he can, and then in places that he can't T-drift, he'll try and preserve that speed as best as possible.
In fact, actually, a technique from GX is also MT, which is what that
Yeah.
is.
So momentum throttling, which is what MT is basically it's releasing the engine. You can also just call it, release engine, release gas, or whatever. And the reason to do that is if you have the engine on, then your acceleration will pull you to your max speed. So if you're way above it, it'll pull you down to it. So if you release the engine, the only speed loss you'll have is just the standard speed loss from having the engine off. And so it's you'll preserve a lot more speed that way. Like I said, it's also used in GX, so if you're familiar with that, you've seen that before.
All right, so coming up is Aeropolis screw drive, and I believe the incentive was met for something very interesting. And I'm gonna let it show itself. Oh, missed start boost.
So this trick that he's going for, it could take a couple tries. He's got 6 laps to try it, so hopefully he can pull it off here.
I'm gonna go for it on boost laps.
Okay.
It's a lot trickier on the opener.
Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar with the series, pretty much starting on lap 2, you can use your health and exchange it for boost. So we call them like, okay, there we go.
Nice.
So that was a shortcut.
This trick was actually discovered completely by accident, by the way.
Was it really?
Yes, it was. Like, and not with this vehicle either. Like one that should not be able to do it.
So pretty much what's happening is if you pop off the track there by hitting into the wall in this loop, then this vehicle's so light you could fly. You can like gain height as you fly, and pretty much you turn around and you drive past and you land past the finish line. And if you skip too many checkpoints forward, the game kills you because it doesn't allow you to do that. But when it uses the like the Lakitu machine basically to pick you up and put you back on the course, it pulls you back through the finish line. So
A little slow one, but sub 110. That is a really good time.
yeah, that was great. And that trick is super janky because you have to like crash into the wall and you just have to be going fast enough that you just kind of bounce and hop over the wall. So
Yeah, actually, I was doing the harder setup for that, so I'm surprised I got that as well as I did.
yeah, that was super good. So pretty much the way that worked is it would skip him 1 lap forward and then he would finish the lap and then get there again and try and go for it. So if you do it properly and you get it 3 out of 3 times, it's basically 3 laps instead of 6.
Yeah, in fact, it does work on all courses, but it's more functional on this course because it's not as complex with the checkpoint system. So on later courses, it's technically possible, but you have to do some janky things to actually complete the next lap. And it ends up being slower than just driving around normally.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with GX with space flying, it's a similar tech to that. You do it a little bit differently, but it's a similar concept where you abuse checkpoints to skip laps instead of driving them fully. So this game parallels to GX in a lot of ways, despite the fact that it handles quite a bit differently. So it's pretty neat that it's available for play on Nintendo, which is a Wii, like a homebrewed Wii software. Basically allows you to run the
So this is Outer Space Meteor Stream. This is like kind of a flat oblong tube sort of course, and I'm gonna try my best to stay on the flat surfaces as much as possible. Unfortunately, with how fast I go, it tends to not happen that way, but there's some sections where it's very helpful to be on the ground instead of in the air.
Yeah, so since you can't T-drift in the air, the goal is basically to stay on the ground.
Also, very light vehicle, I will fly off on that section very easily, just because going so fast and you're very light, you will end up flying off often.
Also, the blue section through here is ice. It doesn't really look like it, but it's considered ice, and so that reduces handling a little bit, so it's a little bit tough.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Are you gonna go for it? Oh, right, because there's... I'm used to, in GX, since there's no Lakitu machine in time attack, you have to be like really careful if you get low, but...
I know, I was actually really scared doing that, but...
But you made it through, I don't think you touched any walls, right? So that's one of the things, like the risk reward about using your boost for speed is that if you don't have enough energy and you go through a narrow section, then it can be super dangerous.
Oh
but
boy.
Fi's doing great, so... and if you're familiar with GX, all the courses have 3 laps, but in this game, they're basically scaled to approximately based on the length of the course, so the shorter courses have more laps, just so that, assuming you're playing on an arcade machine, each credit gives you approximately a similar amount of time to play.
Yeah, it's really optimized more around arcade than it is a home console game.
And then all this stuff that's going on here after each course is he's basically using a license card, which is like a piece of hardware that would allow you to save custom vehicles and stuff like that. So he's using a custom vehicle here because it can T-drift better. The best vehicle for T-drifting that's like available by default is Fat Shark, and with that vehicle you have to keep turning to keep your grip broken when you're T-drifting. But with this vehicle, it's got such low grip that you don't actually need to touch the stick. So once you have like a good angle, you just drive in like a straight line while strafing and pick up a bunch of speed. So
actually, funny story about that. This has a better grip than you would think. Like I actually abused that to my advantage on a couple courses.
Oh.
Like it almost looks like I'm cheating with the way it is. It's just it has that good of a grip.
So what is it that allows it to T-drift so well?
I think it's breaking its grip. Like I don't think we have a full science behind it just yet.
But it's like it can keep grip well, but once you break it, it stays broken maybe. Because that's what makes T-drift work is your grip being broken, right?
Basically.
So I guess you can keep your grip broken. Like right now you don't have grip technically, right? Which is why you're able to T-drift.
Yep.
So yeah, the grip in this game is pretty complex. There's like different types of grip and different ways that you get it and lose it.
Like I think you can actually boost and break your grip, which is kind of beneficial on some places, but not as easy to do as just using the brake button, which...
Yeah, in this game, if you tap the brake, you just automatically lose grip, which is super useful for T-drifting. In GX, you would just press both strafe buttons, but I don't think that works in this, does it?
Nope.
No.
Oh! I have never seen that.
Yeah, so that's ending pipe there gets really, really narrow, and since he was going so fast, he kind of just lifted off in a weird angle, and it yanked him to the side and hit a kill plane. So, but Lakitu machine, so it wasn't that big of a deal. A little bit of time loss, but yeah. So they have an arcade machine of this here at the event, and I've never played this like on console, but playing it on the arcade machine is definitely like super difficult to get these T-drifts. So, I mean, it's probably a little bit easier on controller, but still, Fi's doing great here. So.
Yep, and the AI dies.
So that was Cylinder Wave. This is Cylinder, obviously.
Oh,
and
skipped the time, but I think that was like a 135. There's like a couple frames you can see the time. The reason I'm worried about time is because we timed this game instead of RTA, we timed by in-game time. Just because faster RTA would be to turn off license cards and use Fat Shark, and that's just not fun. So,
Yeah.
honestly, just play the more fun way and use custom machines and license cards. I would love to try and do a run on arcade with like memory card, which would have an even more optimal machine than this. Like this is just the best of what we have right now with license card.
Unfortunately, I guess the memory card readers in the arcade machines that they have here are broken, so we can't do that. But there'd be like a different custom vehicle that would get a little bit more speed out of T-drifting, right?
So this course, I actually just PB'd on Sunday.
Oh, really?
It's like second place right now, so
Oh, nice.
hopefully I get a pretty good time here.
Yeah, this course is super cool. It's got a lot of like these super long roads.
Oh yeah, there's the abusive grip. Like that section I just MT and don't even T-drift.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, that spot right there, I can get a shift boost if I'm going at the right speed.
Oh yeah, we haven't really talked about shift boost. This is a tech, if you're familiar with GX. Pretty much if you catch air at a certain point, and you have the engine on, then you'll, like, pretty much the physics of jumping from ground physics to air to back to ground will cause like a big burst of speed. And it's like a speed multiplier, so the faster you're going, the more speed it gives you. And there's certain places where if you drive over a lump when you're going fast enough, you'll get it, and you'll just pick up a ton of speed. It's pretty hard to use here because, like in AX, because of the handling it's like a little bit harder to control than GX, but if you can get them, they're huge.
Yeah, the handling is like actually mapped, like the joystick is mapped to the range of what the wheel would be on an actual arcade cabinet, so it is extremely sensitive. Thankfully, I've been playing this for like 6 years, so I've had plenty of time to get used to it. I'm gonna take the safe way just because walls.
Yeah, the little jump is pretty neat. Pretty much it just allows you to, the area down there is super super windy and twisty. So by just catching air and flying over it, it's a little bit easier to maintain your speed. Also, you see the spin attacks here and there. When you're spin attacking, you don't have any grip. So in certain sections where you have to turn super sharply, it's useful just to guarantee that your grip will be broken. Because if your grip's broken, you can turn sharper.
Yeah, most of the time they're accidental, but it's like, it doesn't affect any T-drift speed, at least that I can see. But it's like a good clean run, you would never see any spin attacks, honestly. Grip right at the end really screwed that. Would have been a sub 210.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, still a 211. Well, also menuing through these, like for RTA timing, you can actually just spam the start button through every menu and it'll just work, except for after the time screen. Like, that is the only one where you have to press the accelerator, which is very interesting.
So yeah, coming up, it'll be, I believe, the last course, right?
Yeah, this is going to be the last course.
So Green Plant Spiral, it's actually the longest course as well, and pretty neat course. Pretty much it's got like a bunch of stuff. It's got like a pipe, and it's got like, do you go for any of the skips in this?
I go for one of them. The other one is just way too precise.
What?
The spiral zone. Spiral jump,
yeah.
just heading up to the ice patch.
So yeah, hopefully you'll see some of those if we can pull them off.
Yeah, they are still very precise, but I have a couple setups for it.
So these aren't like the whole lap skips like you saw on. Also, that section there, it's like super weird because like it started to turn into a pipe. So he was trying to lose grip, just kind of slipped off.
Yeah, too wide of T-drifts.
Yeah. So there's like a skip you can do from like where the half pipe ends down to there, but it's like super precise to do, and since you're going this fast anyway, it doesn't lose much to. Oh, that's interesting.
Really cool pipe jump there.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah, you'll never see that in GX.
Yeah.
Also, that's another section where I just abuse my grip. Like, I just
Yeah, I can
MT
see.
and strafe around. It's like sliding on butter.
Yeah, I can see like you're able to keep grip like a lot more than I would expect, like going into up slopes and stuff. So yeah, there is a skip available, like to pretty much skip that little 360 before the ice patch. If you can get that off, pretty much just, it's when like the ground drops. If you're going fast enough, you can lift off. So it's pretty precise, but if you can get it, hopefully we'll see that.
Also, this section is very interesting, the way you handle that. It's like, abuses the grip and everything.
Yeah.
Another jump.
Yeah, so he's actually going so fast that as he's strafing, he gains height. And that's kind of a quirk of this game when you have high acceleration settings and you have a light vehicle. It's kind of hard to explain like why it happens, but it's one of the core pieces that's used for a lot of the the full lap skip category, because it pretty much allows you to fly.
Ah, missed it.
Yeah, the section is weird because like you start to lift off and you're still facing up, so it instantly gets a lot of your speed if you lift off. So getting that skip's like pretty tough. It's not random, but it feels a little bit random sometimes, kind of depending on how your setup is.
Oh, I missed the energy pit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
It's
if you
gonna
were
be a little bit
skipping that
dangerous.
on purpose or on accident. Yeah, you're fine now. The AX courses all have like a lot of energy pits, so
Yeah, that's why they're probably some of the most fun in GX, actually. It's just because they're just everywhere, so it encourages boosting.
Yeah, so you can just go super fast like constantly.
Ah!
Almost. That's close.
Gave me a low jump.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate.
Do you aim to be in boost state when you lift off?
I've been experimenting with that recently.
Also coming up on time here, sorry. It's
Oh my gosh, they had time.
Totally forgot about that.
That was actually an ILPB as well.
Oh, was it? Really? Oh, wow.
Well, that was FZero AX.
Yeah, congrats. That run was sick.
Whew. I'm just glad I got the screw drive jump. That was like
Yeah,
the one thing
you
I
got to
wanted.
show that off. Yeah, you pretty much got to show off pretty much everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's actually other strats that are also faster. Like this course right here could be like sub 40 seconds. If you look on the screen, best total time 31:253.
Oh yeah, and that's using like the flying strat like you saw on Screwdrive.
Yeah.
And, this run was like without using that. It was just donation incentive for that one course to show it off, but they're possible on pretty much all the courses. So.
Oh yeah, this is also an honorary world record because that disqualifies it for the T-Drift category. It's now open.
There you go. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
It's a fun run. Good to get a chance to show it off.
Yeah, thank you, Midwest Speedfest.